Chris, did you ever play past the junior varsity level of basketball?
Well, I got asked to leave the varsity team. So, yes, I did play varsity basketball, but I got asked to leave. We
And
had
why
some
did you get asked to leave?
creative differences with the coach.
And what kind of creative differences?
He thought that I was probably a little bit better at football, and they were like, we don't want to risk you getting hurt and taking your time, so we need to get you out to run track and play football. So they said it's probably the best thing for you.
DC ain't even make JV team. I love it.
I 100% did, and I was asked to leave. And, there's a lot of people out there that know why and that can stay. It's not something we need to dig up.
It was fighting was involved, if I'm not mistaken, correct? You beat somebody. Basically, you bullied somebody.
I was a lover, not a fighter, and I have the daughter to prove it, So
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Big B Daily. Welcome back. This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. What is going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody showing up and being here. We got stuff to cover today, man. It is a good day. It's a good Thursday. And the tournament, March Madness, is here. It is here. The tournament is starting. And this is like Christmas to me. This is like Christmas. I'm going to be locked in all day long. I may not even see my wife, although my wife will trickle upstairs. She'll trickle upstairs and hang out, but my wife gets it. She doesn't get in the way. She doesn't talk. She don't ask silly questions. This is just a great, great day. But there are other news. There is other news. We're talking Ohtani, his interpreter, man, ripped him off. Lord have mercy. We're going to get into that. The college transfer portal. I mean, jiminy Christmas. At some point they have to fix this thing. It is just absolutely insane. And March Madness, live, it's here. It's here. But first, let's take care of some business. Again, as always, we are live on TikTok, live on YouTube, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time. TikTok, continue to tap the screen. We need 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows. So if you're in and you're not following, please do. Also, guys, if you guys like what we do and, you like the stuff, the lives that we're putting out, continue to number one, to support us in that fashion by showing up every day. That's the best way to support us. But again, if you like what we're doing, continue to, or shouldn't say continue, just send over a like, a message. There's different ways on YouTube that you can support. The super chats are always great. You guys have supported me that way. We appreciate all that. On TikTok, we've got stuff that's over there. You can subscribe. We appreciate all the subscribers. And I would encourage you to do so because you get extra other things that you don't normally get on TikTok if you subscribe. There's extra content in there. So we appreciate you guys doing all of that good stuff. Got a headache today, but we're going to make it work. We are going to make it work. So I appreciate all that. Let's get into the show. So Ohtani lost millions of dollars. It turns out that his interpreter, who had been with him for over a decade, all of a sudden he has stolen his money. And apparently it is for gambling debts. On NFL, soccer, all this stuff. I mean, out of control. Just out of control. Now, I know the narrative is people are going to try to spin this and say Ohtani was the one who was gambling. He wasn't. So we need to stop that right now before it even gets started. He was not the one that was gambling. But, man, it's always the people that are closest to you, isn't it? Isn't it always the people that are the closest to you? This guy's been with him for over a decade. All of a sudden takes advantage of his generosity and now steals. It's just crazy. You know, it just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I first heard the story and I thought, it's made up. That's what I really thought. I thought it was made up. I didn't think there was any way possible that could be true. I don't know. I don't know why I was naive because absolutely it was true. So unbelievable. Somebody saying, yeah, it was 2 stories though, both 90 minutes apart. You're right, it was. It was crazy. But and the Dodgers fired him. It wasn't the Dodgers fired the interpreter. That's what I find weird. I'm like, the Dodgers? I don't know. I don't know, man. It just you steal from the guy for gambling debt. First of all, why are you gambling so much? I mean, if you don't have the money, but maybe that's why he gambled so much is because, hey, I figured out a way to be able to get his money and I can gamble big money and hopefully I can win. I don't know. It's nuts. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I feel bad for Ohtani. I feel bad for anybody that gets taken advantage of that way, but especially people that, that is really in your inner circle like that, and people wonder why athletes a lot of times don't open up. They're not forthcoming. They give you standard pat answers. They're quiet, reserved, and people get mad about that. Well, here's a reason why. Because you let somebody in that you think you can trust, and boom, they steal from you. I don't know. That's I don't know. It's just weird. The whole story is just weird. And I don't think, here's the main thing. I don't think we've heard the last of it. I think with Ohtani, I think there's something else out there that we're going to hear, that we're going to find out. There's got to be more. It can't just be, well, he stole his money. They transferred money to his account to pay for a gambling debt. There's got to be something else, doesn't there? So, I don't know. What's up, Kim Guy? I'm doing good. How are you? But yeah, it's got to be more. Got to be more. And my famous saying, y'all know me, please, somebody, make it make sense. Whoo. My man, Mr. Kernan says the interpreter is the Japanese Pete Rose. He never bet on baseball. Sure you didn't, buddy. Sure you didn't. It just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. It's always somebody close that rips you off. Absolutely insane. I don't. I mean, and I would talk more about it, but we don't know more about it. But I thought it was important to talk about today. So, and Hooligan, you're right. Ohtani deferred all that money. Well, hell, it's a good thing he did. Because the guy may have stolen more money from him. Whew. Crazy. Just crazy. Yes. That's my point exactly, Darren. This is a wild story. Over here on YouTube, Darren Howard said, this is a wild story. How does he even have access to his finances? That's what I'm saying. There's got to be more to this. There has to be. Because the interpreter isn't just going to have access to money. So it was supposed to be, I've heard 2 different reports. I heard it was 25 million, and then I heard it was 5 million. So again, we're still trying to get to the bottom of it. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So there's going to be more to this. This is just the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg. So just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. 4.5 million wire transfer. How? How? I don't know. Unless the guy has power of attorney, how do 4.5 million just get transferred without me having to say so? Whew. I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. And having power of attorney over certain things, I get it, but whew. And I know it's not the bank's job to question it, but $4.5 million from some account, I need to speak to that person. They got to tell me that that's what they want to do. Can't be the interpreter. Can't be the Can't be somebody's people. It has to be them. So, oh well. It's wild. And there's gonna be more to the story. Y'all keep looking out. This story is just starting. It's just starting to heat up. Just starting to heat up. So, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, it was a longtime friend. It was a longtime friend, but he was his interpreter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, longtime friend or not. But, and maybe he trusted him, but like we said, it's always the people that's closest to you. So, whew. Whew. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ohtani he has to go through the interpreter because he can't talk to the bank. That's where it gets dicey, huh? That's where it gets dicey. So we'll see what happens, man. The story is just beginning. It's just the beginning. Let's move on. Let's move on. So the NCAA, college football, the transfer portal, it's more than college football, but the transfer portal, come on, people. What are we doing now? What are we doing? I try my best to side with players. I was a player, so I do my best to try to side on what's in the interest of players. Now, I want it to be in the interest of everybody, but I want it to be in the interest of players. And when we see this foolishness that's going on with the transfer portal, it is absolutely insane. So yesterday, let's back up. Caden Proctor, one of the better offensive linemen in the country. I think he was the number one offensive lineman coming out of high school. Commits to Iowa. He's from Iowa. And then he ends up flipping his commitment and goes to Alabama. Plays well. Starts every game at left tackle. Plays well. Freshman All-American. Good player. So the next thing that happens, the Alabama gets a new coach because Nick Saban retires. He goes into the portal. Goes back home to Iowa. Commits to Iowa. Okay, that's fine. Gets NIL money. Okay, that's fine. Now, we can talk about how NIL money works, but that's a different conversation. But he gets the money. 2 months later, he says, I don't like Iowa. I'm going back into the portal, and I'm going to go back to Alabama. How in the hell is that work or right? How does that work? I'm just trying to figure out any of it. Like, what's how can you go, you're playing one place, you go get in the portal, and before you even play it down, you take NIL money and then come back. It's almost like you went to Iowa to go collect some cash and came back. I don't understand. Again, I am pro player. I want things to be right for players. But this has got to stop. This has got to stop. Now, I understand, like, for instance, people are screaming about, well, they should have held out the money and paid them per game. And I'm like, you can't do that. NIL is name, image, and likeness. You can't pay them to play. So you can't say, well, I'm going to give you a check or deposit money after every game. You can't do that. You got to just pay them. That's it. It's not pay for play. That's not what NIL is. So I don't want people to misunderstand that. It's not pay for play. And it's just, again, He just went home and said, you know what? I'm going to go home for 2 months, grab some cash, and I'm coming back. Hold my room for me. That's essentially what he did. Hold my room. I'm going to go collect this $100,000. I'll be back. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. So Kim Guy says tax scholarships of players who get NIL money on a free ride. That makes absolutely no sense. So now you're going to tax me on my scholarship because I was able to make money on my name, image, and likeness. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You can't tax guys on a scholarship. I mean, what are we doing? Yeah, you can't do that. Let's go over here. My man Pat Cockrell says someone has to fix the portal. People think that NIL is the whole problem. Don't get it. It's the portal that's killing the sport. Yes, regulate the portal and everything changes. I've said that from the beginning. People think that NIL is the problem. It's not. So you get taxed on money that you earn, Kim Guy. Scholarship isn't money. I don't get scholarship money. So that's not, you're not giving me any money. You know, you want to tax people on NIL money? Okay. But a scholarship isn't something that you get. Like, you don't get that money. It's not income. So, no, it's not income. It's not income at all. And the reason that you know that it's not income is because the school isn't able to write it off. That's why they raise money for scholarships. So, but that's just, until they fix the transfer portal, none of this is going to change, man. None of this is going to change. It's an absolute joke. And again, I don't even begrudge the kid for doing it. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. He's just playing by the rules. These are the dumb rules that you guys put in place. So I'm going to take advantage of them. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't he take advantage of them? We don't have to like the rules because they are dumb. But if these are the rules that are in place and I can help benefit myself, why wouldn't I do that? I mean, now the kid may not be able to show his face in his home state of Iowa anymore, but he probably doesn't care. You got $100,000 for doing absolutely nothing. So it's not stealing. Somebody gave you the money. It's not stealing. You know, you can't steal. I know somebody on TikTok saying that, it's kind of stealing. No, it isn't. Stealing is something I take away from you. I take it from you, either without you knowing or I'm taking it against your will. He didn't take anybody's money. Somebody gave him money. That's not stealing. So, and yeah, we just got to have new NIL rules. They got to have new NIL rules, but if you change the portal, a lot of stuff will change. A lot of stuff will change. You get one time to transfer, that's it. Unless you're a graduate student, then you get one time. That's it. No waivers for getting hurt. Sorry. If you get 4 years to play, that's it. And you get 5 years in which to do that. If you get hurt, sorry. You don't get to play another year. Sorry. That's it. So, how do I feel about the Will Wade situation? I mean, Will Wade cheated, and the rules were different. So, it is what it is. But yeah, until they change the transfer portal rules, then this is what we get. And it hasn't been this egregious before, but now it is. Now it is. And the problem with Iowa got so happy to get this kid, they just gave him the money ahead of time, and he turned around and said, I don't want to be at Iowa. I would rather be at Alabama. And now he's going back $100,000 richer. So, exactly. That's exactly right, Mark. Nobody is turning down $100,000 for doing nothing. for just saying, okay, I'll come to your school. Here's $100,000. You know what? I don't want to come anymore. I'm going somewhere else. And you can't get that $100,000 back. No, I'm not giving it back to you either. Sorry. You shouldn't have given it to me. So the Iowa coach called him out. So, and he's still a good player. Iowa still wishes they had him. If he changed his mind this very second, Iowa would take him back. If he said, you know what, I made a mistake, I want to come back to Iowa, they would welcome him back with open arms. So Kirk Ferentz can say all the stuff that he wants. The kid outsmarted him. Period, point blank. There it is, Chuck Miller. Iowa got fleeced. Yes, they did. And there ain't nothing they can do about it. But these are the rules. And all the kid did was play by the rules. You don't like the rule, you don't like this, change the rules. Change the rules. You know? And then we can start having a little bit of order going on. But I don't know. I like I said, I am always pro player, but this has got to stop. This has got to stop. It's gone too far at this point. It's gone too far. And what I mean by it's gone too far, and y'all don't be alarmed. I'm holding like this because I have this horrible pain in my neck, so I apologize. But it's gone too far. And I don't know. I it's one of those things. Usually I got a lot to say. I don't have a lot to say about this one. I think they've missed the mark. They know they've missed the mark, and they refuse to change it. And I don't get it. So my man Mac is talking about the bowl game opt-outs. That has gone too far as well. All the bowl game opt-outs. That's gone too far as well. Let's see what we got over here. My man Hooligan says you could argue that it's possibly fraud if this was always his intention, but that would be so hard to prove. Exactly. He said, she said. And who's to say that he couldn't have gotten $100,000 from Alabama anyway? So does he actually need to leave Alabama to get the money? That would be my first thought. Is did he even have to leave? But he did. So, and you don't sign a contract, and even if you sign a contract to go play at Iowa like a letter of intent, that doesn't matter anymore. You can get out of that. So whether he signed the letter of intent or not, you can transfer as many times as you want, and they can't do anything about it. So, it's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. So bowl games mean nothing anymore. You're right about that. Only the playoff. But we knew that was going to happen. I mean, did we not know that was going to happen? The people were just going to care about the playoff, and if you couldn't make the playoff, it didn't matter. My whole thing was there was always a national championship game. Like, there was always, like, something. The BCS was around. The Bowl Alliance was around. And people still went and played in bowl games. But then once the playoff came, people were still playing. And it was like almost like one person decided, well, I'm going to opt out. Now it's the trend. Now that's what people are doing. It's weird. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it for college football. I'm usually not a guy that says, man, college football is lost and it's ruining college football. At this point, I'm ready to say the transfer portal as is ruining college football. I never thought I'd be a person to say that. I never thought I would. Because I detest people that go to that extreme for stuff when it doesn't need to be that extreme. But in this case, I think it needs to be that extreme. I mean, if this is what we're doing, I can transfer for 2 months and then transfer back. Is that how we're doing this now? Oh, it's crazy. 2 months. I can transfer for 2 months. Nope, don't like it. I'm going somewhere else. And then who's to say this? Let's just say I go in the spring and I transfer somewhere. You know what? I don't like spring ball. I'm going to transfer somewhere else during the summertime. Didn't like the summer, transferring again. I'm going to go somewhere else. Whew. I don't know. I'm curious to see if there's still going to be a bunch of opt-outs and playoff expansion this year. There won't be opt-outs if teams are trying to win. You're not going to see any opt-outs from teams that are in the college football playoff. I mean, you might see a few, but not many. That's not what people were opting out of. So those people aren't opting out of that. It was the people that Florida State got left out. Half their team said, we're not playing. And it wasn't just people that were transferring. I don't want to play in this game. I'm not doing it. And it made it ridiculous, to be honest with you. So, no transfers after the first official practice until after the playoff. Yeah, I think that, having the transfer portal open in December is one of the dumbest things that I can think of. I don't think it gets any dumber than that. Teams are trying to prepare for a bowl game, trying to sign high school recruits. And then on top of that, they got to make sure that they keep their current roster intact. And then worry about trying to get other transfers as well, all in a 3-week time period? What are we doing? Oh, I just don't understand it. I just do not understand it. Why does everything have to come down to this 3-week period in December? It's insane. But that is what it is. That's college athletics as we know it today. As a reminder, everybody, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, Big B Daily Show. We appreciate everybody showing up. TikTok, keep tapping the screen for me. Need to get to 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows, man. So we appreciate everybody in here. If you're not following, please give us a follow. So, yeah, when we were growing up, all bowl games mattered. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, as always, man, if you guys enjoy what we're doing and like what we're putting out here, we would appreciate anything as how you can support the show on YouTube. You know, we have super chats that automatically get your question or your statement put up on the screen and we say it immediately. There's subscriptions over on TikTok. Please subscribe, but also make sure you follow and then click the link in the bio. Come on over and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube. So we appreciate all of it. Let's move on. March Madness. Woo! It is here. It is live. It is, this is the cheat code right here. This is it. Now, I'm not going to let y'all probably couldn't see that very good. This is it. Right here, baby. Who do we got? Who do we like? So, who do we like? Do we like UConn? Do we like Houston? Iowa State as a surprise. Arizona. I know my man, Mr. Kernan, he likes Arizona. Who do we got? Do we like all those teams in the Final Four? Is there a surprise? As I'll tell you again, my Final Four: UConn, Houston, Arizona, Creighton. UConn, Houston, Arizona, Creighton. Now, don't be mad at me. That's who I like. Now, would I be surprised if Iowa State upsets UConn? Yes, I'd be surprised, but it's not that it can't happen. Thoughts on Purdue? I don't like Purdue in the tournament. I don't like Purdue on the tournament, Jay Bird. I don't like them. Arizona, I don't know. That's the one team that I'm still iffy on Arizona. I'm still iffy. My man Ben Tatum says Auburn. I like Auburn too. So, Mr. B, you not sport. I don't even know what that means. So, NC State on the path back to 83. No way, no how. NC State's getting beat first game. NC State's losing the first game. No, I'm not a believer. I watched them a lot of the year. I'm not a believer. Arizona is the Final Four team, says my man Aaron on TikTok. San Diego State, says my man Wakan. Yes, sir. I like, see? Upsets. Isn't that why we like March Madness? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So, but here's another thing. If you're on TikTok, you may want to subscribe because I am having some picks over on the subscription list today. Only for subscribers can you get these picks. We're picking all games today. All of them will be on my subscriber page on TikTok. So if you're following, go ahead and subscribe. All the picks will be up today. Go pick them. We were 4-0, by the way, just so everybody knows. We picked 4 games. The 4 games so far, we're 4-0. We are 4-0. So we're lighting it up. We're lighting it up. And you still got time, by the way, to join Big B's Bracket Challenge. You still have time. And I apologize. Yeah, this neck thing is just killing me. Whew. Oh, well, we'll make it work. We're going to make it work. So, UConn losing to Iowa State. I think so, Chuck. They just might do it. They just might do it. I like Iowa State a lot. I do. Let me look at some stuff here. Purdue, I'm just not a believer. I'm not a believer. Gonzaga, and I've got one bracket. I like Gonzaga. Nobody's been talking about Gonzaga this year. Nobody's been talking about them. So I like Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I mean, they're one of those teams that in the past, we've been talking about them all year. They've been good, and then they come up short. Nobody's been talking about them, man. Nobody has been talking about them. And this will be the year that UConn, or not UConn, but Gonzaga goes and wins it. So I like UConn. UK and UConn, Zags. So I like it. TCU making a run. I think if TCU wins the first game, I think they're going to beat Purdue. I do. If they win that first game, I think they're beating Purdue. So, and yep, Hooligan, Gonzaga's a little bit down this year. That's why I think they got a chance because nobody's talking about them. That's why I think they got a chance. So, but we'll see. We will see. My man Jay Bird, he says North Carolina will lose. So, they might. Couple people saying that TCU might make a run. I don't know, man. They've been so inconsistent this year. That's why I don't know if they'll even win the first game. But if they do win the first game, I think they can beat Purdue. I do. If they can win that first game, they can beat Purdue. So, Lobos going to be surprised. I think the Lobos win at least one game. I think New Mexico wins at least one game. That's just my prediction. I think they win at least one. At least one. Maybe 2. But I'm looking at it. I mean, Clemson, they're going to beat Clemson. Then it's Baylor and Colgate, and I'm not sure about Baylor. Baylor doesn't guard anybody. I think that's a game that New Mexico can win and end up in the Sweet 16. So, Yeah, that's who I think. That is who I think can make a run. I'm just going back through some of these comments. Somebody's getting an attitude. Like, relax, people, relax. Tennessee, no. I'm out on Tennessee. I think Texas. If Texas can put it together, they got as much talent as anybody in the country. I think Texas can make a run. So that's good. Gonzaga's good, but McNeese can be a trap game if disregarded. You're 1,000% correct. So, and Hooligan is 100% right here. He says sometimes when the pressure is removed, you just ball. Good things happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Quad view ready. Look, I mean, I don't know who has YouTube TV and who doesn't, but I'm telling you right now, if you got YouTube TV like I do, today has to be Christmas for you. I mean, you basically have a sports book in your house. All 4 games you're going to have that are on, you're going to have them right there in front of you. Right there in front of you. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, I don't think Oakland is a threat to beat UK. I don't think they are. But yeah, I got quad view. I am going to be set. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with my wife today. But we'll see. She may just say, Brian, have at it all day. I'll see you tomorrow. And it might be what happens. So we'll see. I don't have food up here. I only got popcorn up here, though. We're going to have to figure that out. I only got popcorn. But popcorn, I can make it work, though. I got liquor. I got soft drinks. I got water, bathroom. I can make it work. I can make it work. I might have to get some wings, though. That could be the only thing. I may have to get some wings. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, but hey, man, I apologize, people. We're going to have to cut this one short. I am not feeling good today. I thoroughly apologize. So, I've got something that's going on. I must have slept wrong, but I cannot hold my head up. So, I appreciate everybody being here, man. Thank you. We'll be live. So, tomorrow, hopefully I'll be feeling better. But if good things happen, I'll be live back on TikTok later today while we're watching the games. So I appreciate everybody being here, man. Whew. And thank you guys. We will be back tomorrow to do it better. Everybody, again, be safe. Let's have fun today. Let's watch a lot of college basketball. And we will be back tomorrow. Aloha.